Namah Shri Yadirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satya Sukhaswarupaya Swamine Tapaharine. Introduction of the speaker. So welcome to Dr. O P Tiwari.
Dhanyavad Swamiji.
He is an expert in classical pranayama, which has been handed over to him by Swami Kuvalayananda of the Kaivalya Dham. He has been teaching, practicing this for years and decades. So now Swami Vidyapradananda, who is the convener of the seminar, will briefly introduce the speaker.
Good evening to all participants and good evening, respected Tiwari ji. It is our great honor that you have agreed to speak in this webinar series sponsored by the Inter-University Center for Yogic Sciences. I take this opportunity to introduce our eminent speaker today. Sri Om Prakash Tiwari is the chairman of Kaivalya Dham, Lonavala, and one of the world's leading authorities in pranayama. Sri O P Tiwari is the direct disciple of late Swami Kuvalayananda ji, founder of Kaivalya Dhama, the world's pioneer institute in the field of scientific research in yoga. He is also currently the president of the Council of Yoga Accreditation International. He is the member of the governing body of the Central Council of Research in Yoga and Naturopathy under the Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. In total, he has more than 50 years of experience in yoga therapy, teaching, and policy making. He has dedicated his life to the practice, teaching, and promotion of yoga throughout the globe. Thank you, sir, for joining us. We look forward to your talk today.
Sir, you may begin.
Shall I start?
Please begin.
See, when we think of
Recording
the
in progress. अरे इधर बच्चों एक दिन यहाँ रहो उसे रखो
So we are able to hear you.
Sir, please proceed.
Thank you. Sorry for the day. See, when we go to the historical aspect of pranayama, there are two sources of information. One is Maharshi Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, and second is Hatha Yoga, which existed in 3rd century AD. It comes Yadana Siddhyate Bodhi Hatha Yogena Sadhaye. It is part of Hatha Yogic text. As regards Maharshi Patanjali is concerned, I am of the opinion the purpose of pranayam those days was only spiritual. The concept of Vata, Pitta, Kapha was not brought in the curriculum of pranayam. Simply he defines Tasmin Sati Swas Praswasayor Gativicheda Pranayama. And he has categorized four types of pranayama. You inhale and hold the breath. You exhale, hold the breath. Also, you are inhaling, doing purak, and also occasionally, slowly, in breath, you are holding the breath. And so, the same with the, while you are doing the exhalation. But time changed. When the Hatha Yoga came into existence, or I should say when it was introduced in the society, the same four type of pranayam became 8 type of pranayam based on the condition of your vata, pitta and kapha. Maybe some reason of health was there when people were practicing and they were developing chronic cold, cough, sneezing. This reference comes, and that is why in Hatha Yoga, the same pranayam of 4 types became 8 types of pranayam. Surya Vedan, 1. Surya Vedan Ujjayi Shitkari Shitali Tatha Bhastrika Brahmari Mursa Plavani Ityashtramaga. They became 8 types of pranayam. The purpose was also little different. Though during the period of Patanjali, the pranayam was purely having the spiritual mode of life. But when Hatha Pradipika came into existence, which I said in 3rd century AD, there is a reference of Hatha Yoga. Yada na siddhyate bodhi Hatha Yogena sadhaye. So the 8 types of pranayam we are having different quality along with awakening of Kundalini, but give you the perfect health. And that is why it was the first time when the introduction of nadis were given. Surya Nadi, Chandra Nadi, etc. And it was practiced very sincerely, very, not seriously, but sincerely. Just as Hatha Pradipika says that Athasane drane yogi vashihita mitasana gurupadis paragena pranayanam samabhyase. Guru was needed, teacher was needed, so that there is no mistake. It is said, Dekha dekhi ki na yog, shiji kaya badha rog. That is why the importance of your teacher was very, very important. And in Hatha Pradipika, they have said, Chale vatam, chale chittam, nischalam nischale bhave, yogi sthanuttam apnoti tato vayam nirodhe. Because of the overactiveness of the mind, they said that we must practice pranayam so to concentrate very straightway. So, what was the, remember one thing, it was, though it is called Ashtanga Yoga, but importance of yamas and niyamas was not neglected. They said that practice of yamas and niyamas will transform your life. No. You will experience the real peace in the society. And that is why the importance of these yamas and niyamas was given very high importance before practicing the asana and pranayama. We can understand if society is disturbed, if the emotions are dominating, the peace cannot prevail in the heart of. That is why they said, ahimsa paramo dharma, the highest spiritual order is non-violence. It is very, very necessary for the person who wants to practice yoga as a whole, in totality. And so they have said, yatra hinsa pratisthayam tatra sannidhau vairatyaga. That is why we say today, if those 5 yamas are brought into action, if people start practicing these 5 yamas, I don't think there will be any disturbance in the society. The question comes, what are those? They are the essential part of the yoga. They are the fundamentals of yoga. Asana pranayam comes afterward. First, we have just to solidify our personality. And out of that, the manasa, vacha, karmana, in your thought, in your speech, in your action, this attitude of non-violence must exist in the society. And once it becomes, you can think if the society is following strictly the non-violence, where will be the disturbance of mind? Where will be the violence? That is one of the reasons yoga emphasizes the utmost for the ahimsa, for the non-violence. You can yourself think in detail that how will be the society? What are the reasons why society gets disturbed? Negligence of yamas is the main cause for the disturbance in the society, in social thinking, in understanding, in acting. So the one thing which is very, very important is we must observe. We try to behave with the people as we want to get behaved by the people. If non-violence becomes one of the objects of our behavior, what will be the place for violence? So these 5 yamas, after non-violence, the truth is speaking, respect to truth. We should not lie. If that also develops, second cause of violence will finish. And third is non-stealing. We should not take somebody's object or thing without asking his permission. See what is the behind this concept. And fourth is brahmacharya. I have little different opinion. If suppose this brahmacharya is followed by 100% people, what will be the life of the creation? In my opinion, it was not Patanjali's idea. Be true to your partner was the idea. And don't forget the spiritual aspect of life. And then the final, they insisted, your life should depend upon the, not on desires, but on the need. Desires are not to be killed, but preference should not be given to desires, but the need should be considered. What you need should have first preference. What you desire should have second preference. So these 5 yamas, ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, parigraha, was a necessary part of the Ashtanga Yoga of your life. Then they kept 5 mottos for our behavior with others. Behavior with others we have discussed. Now behavior with yourself. How should be your life? So the first they said, Shaucha, purity. Shauch does not mean cleanliness. A plastic flower may be very beautiful, but it will not give the same feeling to what the real flower gives. So first is Shaucha. Then second is Santosha. I'm telling in short so that I don't want to waste the time. Contentment, not satisfaction. Whatever is the result of your action, you should be contented. If failure is there, try again. If success is there, don't be overhappy. And also, third is tapaha. They said pranayam param tapaha. Practice of pranayam is best tapa for your body and mind. Swadhyaya. Whatever you are practicing, try to understand it. Try to understand whether it suits you or not. Don't practice blindly. You must practice with full understanding. And then Ishwar Pranidhanani. Try to think, try to select the thought which tells you how this creation must have taken place. Is there someone behind it or not? And therefore, that thought also is necessary. And surrender to that power which is responsible for the creation of this world. So this is something very, very important. Yoga insists, advises you to practice yamas and niyamas. Not only asana pranayam, they are very good, But yamas and niyamas are not less good. They lay down the foundation of your personality. They are not the if and but they are the solid something which you achieve. You transform yourself. Not only change yourself, but transform. Your concept changes. You come to know what harms are there of violence. You come to know what are losses for the stealing. So all these yamas are very important. And then he comes very systematically on the asana. As today you will see, asanas are much distorted. People are not sticking to the fundamental laws of asana. He says, Sukham asana. Asana is one which gives you the steadiness of the body and feeling of well-being to your mind. But I am sorry to say, people do asanas as a physical exercise. They have not understood the basic fundamental purpose of asana. It is very, very important to know what is asana. They say, Prayatna Shaithilya Anant Samapatibhyam. Asanas are to be done with the least effort. And mind may also disturb you at the same time. And they say, try to concentrate mind on one point. Yeah. Maybe on your breathing, maybe on anything, but it should not be allowed to keep on thinking. You are practicing asanas and I have forgotten my key, car is open. Total destruction will be there. You will not be able to concentrate, and that effect of asanas will be just opposite. Prayatna Shaithilya Ananta Samapatibhyam. Try to concentrate on infinity. And what will happen? Tato dvandva ananighataha. Then conflicts of your mind and body which are arising will be settled. But you should sincerely practice, not seriously. Seriously get involved ego. And once you practice sincerely, the effect of asana will be wonderful. If you do not misunderstand me, now I am running 93. And it is 56 years I came in contact with Swami Kovalyananda, who said, yoga has a complete message for humanity. It has a message for the human body. It has a message for the human mind. Will young and old come forward to carry this message, not only in India, but every corner of the world. It was Swami Kovalyananda 50 years before. In 1924, he established Kaivalya. So, it is very, very necessary that we understand the sutras very correctly. Otherwise, what is happening, people will do yoga as a physical exercise, asana as a physical exercise, which are not. It gives you original personality. It gives you everything what is lacking in your body and mind. So this is about asana. And same thing, tasmin sati swas praswasayor gati vicheda pranayama. This is what Patanjali has described. They are not the physical exercise that you are doing with effort. Prayatna cycle is one of the factors which is necessary. Hadda Pradipika says, Athasane drade yogi vashi hitamitasana gurubdishta margena pranayamam samabhasit. Not by yourself. Dekha dekhi kina yog chiji kaya badharo. This is the, in general, simple Hindi, this definition or result. So, pranayam during the Patanjali's time, it had only spiritual value. But when the period of Hatha Yoga started, it also started, they studied effect on your total personality. And they have, if you read Hatha Pradipika, an effect of those pranayamas, it's wonderful. Each pranayam is defined very nicely. And also, there is a concept which in Patanjali was not there. It must be existing, but he has not discussed much in detail. That was awakening of Kundalini. So one of the purpose of pranayam, few pranayamas were there, which used to emphasize how to raise the Kundalini. A nerve which is sleeping, dormant in the spinal column, which carries total spiritual aspect with it. If you, by practicing certain asana, pranayam, mudras, you get awakened, then you have some spiritual experience. And that is why these asanas and mudras were very much discussed, taught, practiced. But remember one thing, the seriousness is needed in yoga, the sincerity is needed in yoga. And these 8 pranayamas, they take care of your total body and psychological aspect. And out of that, Surya Bhedan. Another thing which was invented by yoga was even today the modern physiology, anatomy doesn't know it. That why we have been given 2 nostrils. Right nostril is called sun and the left nostril is called moon. When we breathe through right nostril, the heat exchange heat goes little up, the temperature. But when we breathe through left nostril, it comes down. It cools the body. That is why you must have experienced every hour our breathing keeps on changing. Sometimes right is flowing, sometimes left is flowing, sometimes both are flowing. And on this, the maximum work is being done in yoga. That is why they have seen Athasane Drade Yogi Vashi Hit Mitasana Gurupdishta Margena Pranayamam Samabhase. You must learn from the noble teacher how to do pranayam. Because the pranayam, as I said, has two very important aspects. To give you a normal personality and also remove certain disorders which are not allowing you to get the normal personality. That is why they say when you do pranayam, both the nostrils must work openly. And they have some technique also. If suppose your right nostril is only working, left is closed, then they have a yoga danda. You must have seen sannyasi and yogi. They have one, and above that is a, like half moon. That danda is there. And we have done the experiment on this and research. When you put on the right armpit, the left start working. If you put in left armpit, the right will start working. And you, at the time of the practice of pranayam, both the nostrils should work evenly. And that will bring a great success as a effect of pranayam. It has been noticed by research when you suffer from the chronic cold, it is the left nostril which is working, sneezing. And at that time, when you put the yoga danda on left armpit, the right will start working and you will feel relief. Not cure, but you will feel relief, very much relief when the right nostril starts working and left goes little down and you both become equal. You will feel much relief. So the purpose of pranayam is give you the total integrated personality. And you can imagine when you have totally integrated personality, how will be your behavior? Because yamas and niyamas will not allow anger and jealousy and hatred to come into your personality. And the normal personality bring in society only peace, nothing else. Tolerance, no hatred, no anger, no jealousy. So that way the effect of pranayam is very different. But don't think that yamas and niyamas could be neglected. It is the total effect of the practices. And if you go little detail in the Pradipika, etc., you will come to know much more about the pranayam. It is said, pranayamen sarve prasyushanti malayati. All the impurities of your body will be gone. But ayukta bhyas yogena sarva yoga samudbhavaha. If improperly done yoga, you may develop certain type of disorders. Therefore, Gurupdishta margena pranayamam samabhyaset. Practice pranayama under a good teacher, under the Guru. And you will come to know. Now, as I said, you can, if you don't misunderstand, think I'm 93 now, running very nicely because of effect of pranayama and my guru's teaching, Swami Koelananda. So this is one thing has to be noticed in pranayama. No haste is necessary. Shanai shanai. Pranayam samah shanai shanai. And then you will come to know what are the effects. Surya Bhedan. In Surya Bhedan, you are breathing in through right nostril, holding the breath, then breathe out through the left nostril. Ujjayi, you inhale through both the nostrils, exhale out through the left nostril. Sitkari, you close the teeth and against the tongue is put against the teeth and it gives you coolness to your body. The pitta reduces. Shitali, again, it cures high blood pressure. Also, where people having more pitta calm down, you hold the tongue and then inhale through tongue. Hold the breath and breathe out through the nostrils. Wonderful. Shitali is so good for the excess of pitta, excess of blood pressure. So many disorders can be corrected by it. Bhastrika, the most important pranayam is Bhastrika, which is a combination of Kapalbhati and Surya Bhedan. You do certain number of Kapalbhati and last stroke you exhale completely and inhale through the right nostril, put the Jalandhar Bandha and last you and Mool Bandha and then exhale out slowly. Bhastrika is supposed to be cure so many disorders, but also it gives you spiritual upliftment. It affects the Kundalini to get awakened. In Brahmani, whose mind is very, very hyperactive, you have to inhale nicely and then slowly breathe out with the humming sound. Inhale through both the nostrils. And later on, teacher teach you how to do outer kumbha. And Mursha. Mursha is most difficult pranayam because all the three bandhas are adopted while you are doing it. And in no case you should practice alone. Must be your teacher because he will look at your pulse and then you will be doing. So these 8 pranayam, really speaking, this is my experience, transforms your personality. It gives you long life. And therefore, practice of pranayam is entirely necessary for the growth of your personality. You feel you are different. transformation takes place. So, but you must learn from some good teacher. This is enough for today. I thank you. And now 15 minutes should be there for question and answer.
So if anybody has any question, you can either talk or you can put it in the chat box. So now this talk is open to questions, please.
I'm open for question.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir. I'm Nikhil. You said non-violence is the key to a perfect life, but when you see in this Kali Yuga, there are many kinds of evil people trying to bring you down and all. If somebody destroys something that is really valuable to you, how can you not use himsa if they are using himsa?
Nothing prevents you in practicing non-violence. But remember one thing, what Krishna says in Gita, result must justify the cause.
Thank you, sir.
And also we should not forget, in Kali Yuga, though it is natural, but we should keep ourselves aloof.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Namaste, sir. It is so inspiring to know that at the young age of 93, you are putting yourself forward into service at this hour. Thank you for coming forth. Just wanted to understand, when you speak of sincerity and seriousness, and then you mentioned very beautifully that when you're serious and ego sets in. So could you elaborate on that? I have a follow-up question also. As a sadhak, when I practice pranayam, it's not having the grace of a guru is not always possible to have that around, but I do try and go in for annual reviews. So for the most most times of the year when I'm practicing by myself, and I'm the only person who can watch myself. So you mentioned checking the pulse, you mentioned the connection with Vata Pitta Kapha. I'm a Vata Pitta dominant. I wanted to understand what are the things to keep in mind while practicing pranayam for a person at times when there is no teacher or support around and you have to watch yourself. So what would be the red flags to watch for? And what are the good indicators that this is when your pranayama is moving in the right direction, and you can it can translate to the next limbs of yoga.
See, I given saying, Dekha dekhi kinha yog, chiji kaya badha rog. My experience is, Swami Kuvalanji was my teacher, and I started doing the Mursha Pranayam. I did not consult him. I wanted to show him that I know Mursha. And in Mursha, he said, okay, Tiwari, come at 4 o'clock and we will see your pranayam. I reached his kuti. Please, I'm telling you the truth. I was full of ego that I can do it 4 minutes kumbhak. And it so happened I started to show him. And when I did kumbhak, this happened. And Swamiji asked me for 3 months, no Mursha. Then he taught me very correctly. That is one of the reasons why in pranayam practice teacher's experience is needed. It has a wonderful effect, but same thing can disturb you if not properly done.
Uh-huh.
So that is very necessary that suppose in Ujjayi, the technique of inhalation and exhalation is different. You touch the glottis, there is hissing sound from the glottis, while in the other pranayama is not there. So this we must know pros and cons. And very good book, Pradipika is there, Hiranya Samhita is there, which tells everything.
This was very helpful to know. So for independent practitioners on a daily practice, or who are, beginner or at an intermediate level and haven't yet found their teachers, what would be your message, sir, for safe practices that to begin with?
I tell you something very in short. When you start getting practice, put your hand on the pulse yourself and see how it is behaving. Every day you should do this. And when pulse is not behaving as it was behaving yesterday, you must consult your teacher. It is very, very necessary for those who are the students of pranayama. Hatha Pradipika very clearly says, Pranayamen sarve prashushanti malayati. All impurities are removed, but aiktabhyas yogena sarvarog samudbhavaha. So, little things you must learn from your teacher with respect.
Sir, there is a question. Is pranayama a form of meditation?
Which pranayam?
Is pranayama a form of meditation?
Meditation is different thing, pranayama is different thing. But if your mind is disturbing much while sitting in meditation, practice of Brahmari is very, very effective. Concentrate on the sound. You will not be able to think if you are doing sincerely, and you will see the change what happens with Brahmari. Concentrate on the sound which is produced during Brahmari.
Sir, there is another question. What is the importance of kumbhaka in pranayama?
See, the very definition says pranayama is based on kumbhaka. Then your breath becomes pranayama. Tasmin sati swasa prasvasayor tivicheda pranayama. This is definition.
Namaskar, sir. I have a question, a very short question. Can I ask?
Please, please.
Yeah. Do you consider Kapalbhati as a classical pranayama, or it is only a Satakarma?
Kapalbhati, I am sorry to say, because I know one of the great teachers is talking about Kapalbhati as pranayama. No, Kapalbhati is not pranayama.
It is only Satakarma.
Just I quote something from Hatapradipika. Neti dhauti tatha bhakti tratakam naulikam tatha kapala bhatis chaitani satkarman pratashkate. It is one of the satkarma, not pranayam.
Thank you, sir.
Don't misunderstand me. I'm not insulting anyone.
Thank you, sir.
So the awakening of the Kundalini you're speaking about, how the pranayama awakens the Kundalini, can you just elaborate on that?
No, there is a nerve called Kundalini which runs through our spinal column. When, with the help of Kumbhak and Pranayam, the activity starts there. You start having different spiritual experiences. And it goes through 7 chakras, 6 chakras, and then settle on the 7th, and you have extrasensory perception. Many experiences are there. You know, we had one research project where it was charged in Germany in one newspaper that yoga is nothing but a self-hypnosis. And Swamiji became eager to know whether something is correct there. We had a subject who used to go in samadhi. And we called one object and one subject from outside who was hypnotized. And 4 stimuli were there. One was, he was shown a very bright light to measure the optic reaction. Second was to fire a cracker to observe the sensation from reaction from the ear. And also something about the nose. 4 stimuli were there. And we saw his graph on the electroencephalograph was disturbed. But person who was in samadhi, his graph was straight. Then the paper was written. 1 or 2 experiments more were done that 2 are different. One is spiritual aspect, another is general aspect. So the last question.
So the question is, can we do Sahaja Pranayama during Japa?
You will be divided because pranayam needs your total concentration. In japa also needs correct recitation. And you will attend one, you will forget another. My advice is keep separate time for both.
So thank you so much for your time and energy and your very presence and talk so inspiring at this age.
I'm very happy.
And you are one of the
few who listen very calmly to me. I don't know how did I speak.
And you are one of the very few authorities now living on pranayama So we are very eager because pranayama is least discussed in yoga. So this time we thought the entire 15-day webinar, we will devote entirely to pranayama. And
Okay.
who could be a better opener
Thank you.
for this than you, Dr. Tiwari? So we thank you so much. We'll keep coming to you. We'll now close with the Shanti Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnad Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti
Shanti.
Shanti Hari Om Tat
Om.
Sri Ramakrishna Namaste.